Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Down Under version of Three Men and a Vape Show. As you can see, the wonderful Harley isn't with us today. He's flown off somewhere. He's having a bit of time with the family, which is always nice. But we are joined by the wonderful Mr. B and also our standing caster all the way from Down Under, the one and only Stu Valentine. How are you, buddy?
Good day, everyone.
Good day there, mate.
G'day from Oz, or should I say crikey?
Oh, yeah, crikey. If anybody can hear a mating cricket...
That's not a knife.
That's a knife. If anybody can hear a mating cricket, that's because he's got his door open. It's that time of year when they're all mating.
All getting pissed.
Yeah. Big love to everybody who's joined us in chat as well. You make this show. I know we've had a couple of weeks off to do with illness and working. And also, Mr. B, you've had the old COVID, haven't you, bro?
Still recovering from it. That's probably, tell you, for anyone who's had it will know this, but for anyone who hasn't had it, I truly hope you never get it, ever.
It's horrible.
Absolute terrible. Terrible. Never felt as bad in my life.
Well, you and your lasses had it, and yeah.
Both of us, yeah, which is really bad because obviously Mrs. B cooks.
Well, you did say you'd lost some weight, didn't you?
I've lost loads of weight because of it. Tell you, loads of weight. Well, a couple of children.
And as well as Thomas in chat, he's got to hope you feel a bit better as well, buddy. It was quite strange because when we did UK Vape Show, there were about 5 people in there as well who'd got it. So
it's flying around at the moment. It's like he's come back with a vengeance. Suddenly in time for floppy haired bastard to go, yeah, no, nobody wear masks. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Whatever we do, we're not going to get onto this subject because getting Stu Valentine onto this, he'll be fucking.
I thought I wouldn't speak about that.
Let's rev him up. Go on, rev him up.
Anyway, it's gone all quiet here with everything regarding to that because we've got an election coming up next month. So none of our medical friends want to get on the TV very much. So
I must admit that I think Shrek's, but just to let you know, Shrek, I am on number 1. It is in the gear, number 1 of Shrek's Swamp Juice. He's doing me a spearmint. So as soon as this, obviously the horribleness that's happened in Ukraine came, there were just nothing on the news anymore, were they?
Well, yeah. I think, to be honest, it's like if aliens viewed our population right now, they'd be thinking season 2022 of Earth. In 2 episodes, we've gone from pandemic worldwide to mass war. In 2 episodes, like what the fuck?
Yeah, we've been 2 episodes
when they lock us up.
I can't believe it though. It's just mad. But anybody who is suffering from it, obviously, I've had it, and I would not wish it on anybody. So I hope you all get better. So apart from that, Mr. B, you're feeling all right? Like you said, you lost a bit of weight as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, losing weight left, right, and centre. I'm literally losing weight like a 300-gallon tank with a pinprick hole. But it's it's the water's moving. But I'm still suffering. I'm not out of it yet.
As well as what I'm just talking about, and I'm so sorry to bring it down, but you've been diagnosed with diabetes in the last 2 weeks as well.
Yep, it's all happening at the same time.
Okay.
I've got some metformin, crap that they gave me. But I've got an appointment in April because that's the earliest date for a diabetic nurse. So I said, well, it's not too serious then. Well, April.
The horrible thing with that metformin is I couldn't take that because it gave me stomachache and gave me diarrhea, so I couldn't take that.
Well, to be honest, I had stomachache on a daily basis anyway because I'd just eat anything. So the stomachache's never really bothered me. But yeah, Pam, it is type 2. But everyone keeps telling me you can get rid of it. But to be honest, I'm not too. At first, it was like a big kick in the nuts because the way I found out was terrible. I needed some antibiotics. So I rang up the doctor in the morning, and I get a phone call. I think everybody does still. So she rings me up to this doctor and then turns on and goes, so have you made an appointment with your diabetes nurse yet? I went, pardon, what? She's your diabetes nurse. Because why the fuck would I need an appointment with your diabetes nurse? Oh, well, you've got diabetes. Did you not know? No, nobody fucking told me. It's like, Jesus. So yeah, it was a bit of a hit when I found out. But then, you start lining things up that's been happening, like the symptoms of diabetes, and you think, well, yeah, no, obviously, it was obvious, really.
Stu, Louise is in chat and says hello to Mr. B.
Hello.
Hi, Louise. How are you?
Hello.
How are the children? Hopefully they're not annoying you.
Hey, they're off school on Friday. This is going to be an absolute nightmare.
How are your stuff then? We all know what it's like as a parent when school holidays rock around. It doesn't matter what side
two of them off.
you're on.
Oh, well, I'm going to take them camping. That's what I'm going to do. Well, they're going camping. I'm staying at home, but...
I don't do camping. I've had one experience camping, never again.
Oh, that's our plan. Obviously, Louise has passed the theory test as well, so she's on now for her lessons. The earliest you can get a test date is August, so she's all booked up for that. So fingers crossed she'll be driving by the end of August, which would be amazing.
Fantastic.
She went.
What car are you going to get her?
We've already got one. My brother gave us a car 2 years ago. And father-in-law, it's been parked in his yard. Now he's a bit of a mechanic, so he just keeps tinkering on it, driving it around. So yeah, it's a Toyota.
I remember the first car my dad ever bought me when I was 16. He bought me an original Mini Cooper, which sounds fantastic, apart from the first speed bump I ever went over, the chassis split in half. It's like, yeah, not a good car.
So that sounds like you'd riding around in an orange.
Well, yeah, I upgraded to a Datsun Cherry. Super stylish.
Nice to see you, Les. So, as you can see, down under. We are down under of our caster. So, you will be able to see coming up, or it should be coming up on Nightbot, my original, or the last one that I had of the intro to my reviews was from a band called The Knackers, which is a part, Stu is a part of. And
I've heard it's swing music.
Hey?
Knackers, swing.
Is that what they call humour in the UK?
Well, no, that's what he calls fucking humour. We don't call it.
Little things, they just tickle me.
You've got to think he's been sat at home on his own for quite a while, poor lad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll be able to see it's coming up on Nightbot, the link to their YouTube channel. So please get over there and give him a subscribe and listen to some of the music. It's absolutely fantastic.
One of them, and I need all the subscribers I can get. There's a few people in chat that have seen, that have joined up, and they share the love, and hopefully there's something there for everyone. Hopefully they like some of it. It's pretty varied, and I've enjoyed it. I like it.
The lad who you do it with, you've known him for a lot of years. John Nash, is it Nash?
No, David.
David Nash, yeah. So how did you two? How did you get to be in the Knackers?
Well, it started about 30 years ago. I knew of him. He had more girlfriends than any of us at any time going. So, we met up, and he was playing guitar, and his next door neighbour was playing guitar, and I got picked up a pen and a paper, and I started writing lyrics. And later on, I ended up playing what's called the cajon, which is sort of like a box drum. And, we had a bit of fun at that. And, he's a miracle worker, our Dave.
Superb.
Yeah, I just get on the piss, and he starts playing the guitar, and I write the words. And when we save it up the next day, it sounds good.
Louise, I don't think she had toast and jam. So yeah, I think she's pissed. She knows she doesn't drink. But yeah, it is. Obviously, it's a little bit like Elton John and the bloke who he writes. Really, obviously, he comes up with the music and you write the tune, the words to it. The gun,
Yeah,
I absolutely loved.
Yeah, I do the lyrics and a bit of backup singing, and I do the videos. Then I need to get a couple of lessons from Flatcap to put a better one together. Maybe do a parody.
Yeah, the last one he did, that Gangster's Paradise, were absolutely funny as anything.
Well, he put another one out, Lazy. Did you see that? Someone said that he was lazy the way that he presented his videos, so he did a rap song around that and had a go. I'm not sure who the guy is. Someone in chat, I'm sure, will bring it up.
I've not seen the new one. I haven't either. I'm going to have to go and check that out. I love the stuff he's done. He's done some absolute brilliant stuff. And believe me, Flatcap is definitely not a lazy reviewer, believe me, by far. Some of obviously the B-roll stuff that he puts in there, that's just not like doing a front bit to camera, then putting it down, doing it down low. And there's a lot of effort that goes into one review.
I was going to say, what idiot can call Flatcap lazy and mean it?
No. Yeah, well, he didn't take the piss out of the guy. But, well, he did, in a way, but he didn't have a go at him. But what came to screen was brilliant again. The cartoon of his head singing was quite funny.
He's one of these people. You got to think about it. He's got wonderful kids. He's got a wonderful wife. He works constantly. And then to have the time to be able to not only learn the software as well, he's learnt it as well. And then to get it out, it's absolutely fantastic. And the quality of his reviews are brilliant. And he's just got better and better.
Well, that's the only way. You just got to keep at it. And you learn something every day, every time that you put a video together. There's something else there that you can or you haven't thought about. Or you see someone else's stuff and you think, well, how the bloody hell do I do that? And
I think
on the way to doing that, you find out something else as well.
I think that's with everything in it. You get what you put in when it comes back out, and it is like you said. You learn every day. Obviously, you must have been doing that the same with your music as well.
Yeah, well, 30 years is a long time, so I suppose you don't realise what levels you've reached until you're actually there. From putting the pen to paper, and then hearing the song live or played back to you, especially on your intro all the time, it's just magic. It's really hard to explain.
The link's just coming up now in chat, so please, all of you, give it a little click, go and stick a thumbs up and a subscribe over to him. And I see, buddy, absolutely. Go and stick a subscribe to him. Some brilliant music there. And I was when he sent the gun over to me, I went, yeah, I want that. And it reminded me of like a sort of a Dylan type song.
Yeah, well, so half the lyrics are shit that happens in my mind, and yeah, I'm quite proud of it now. But I can see what sort of mood I was in listening back to each of the songs, and it takes me back to a place where things have happened to me and affected me. And it's someone said, I can't believe, but music measures time. It always sends you back to where you've heard that first bit of music. The girl you were seeing, the food that you're eating, the car drive that you're on with your parents to wherever when you first heard it. And it's a wonderful thing. And when you get to create it, it's another level entirely.
And to be honest, I think they're the best songs on earth are the ones that actually mean something to somebody. I think we were talking about it before, watching the Ukraine live show watched it today, recorded it last night, and there was a singer called Anne-Marie. Now, I'd never heard about her before, but apparently she's been on The Voice and stuff, and she came out with this song, and it was all about insecurities, and she wished people would stop staring at her and all this. It was a really powerful song, and you could tell that there was a lot of emotion in it, and how that, or whether she wrote it or not, I don't know, but if she did, how she felt at the time of writing it. And they're the best songs. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, there's a couple of them, but Ed Sheeran does that. Supermarket Flowers, that always gets me crying about my mum. And there's another one he does, If You Could Talk to Heaven or something like that. Two absolute fantastic songs.
I think one of my favourite songs of all time, it was one of, was it? I can't remember who sang it, but it was all about Vietnam War. And it's on every bloody Vietnam film is on it. But it's a really, really powerful song. These Miss Colored, I can't remember the song now.
No, it's memorable.
Yeah.
Richard Young, yes, what an absolute Jasper Carrot Magic Roundabout. That was the B-side to Funky Moped. And when he did the Magic Roundabout sketch was absolutely fantastic. Has anybody else heard that?
No.
Get Jasper Carrot doing Boing, said Zebedee. It's brilliant. It is really good.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm on the wrong side of the planet for that sort of stuff, I think.
Don't worry, so's Aiden.
Talking about reviewing it, my first review for a long time is going to be out tonight. But I've been trying to record in 4K today, and the computer was just not having it. My thingy were out of sync, so I ended up going back down to the 1080p. But yeah, it's going to be out a little bit later on, as well as, ladies and gentlemen, which I've not put a review out properly for probably about 3 months. Me, Flat Cap, and Vic, I think, from the UK, who I actually know. I think Geordie Man Vapor, and maybe another one. To top 15 in the Vape Around Awards. The nominations are now open, so if you want to go and stick a little vote for one of us, it'd be absolutely brilliant. It is international, so it'd be nice if the UK lads got it instead of the international ones, which I doubt it, but so get yourselves over there and give us a little bit of a vote. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, you wanted to come over to Expo, didn't you, Stu?
I did.
Yeah, it's just a bit expensive at the minute.
The expense is not the way. Well, I don't have the money for a start, but yeah, there's other reasons. I'd love to be there. Absolutely love to come and meet some of the people that are in chat all the time, who I've met in Zoom. Big shout out to Cicero. I'm not going to call him Cicero because you'll get a big head and you'll start writing big things in chat. And big shout out to Darth Vader, who's sent me some e-liquids from Darkstar and various other places. Magic. You know what it's like here in Australia. You need a prescription to get.
We're going to get onto that with the things in Australia. We are pretty lucky. Again, majority of them, well, all of them, are my patrons, including yourself, which is the family we've got. And I know as well you're with Adam, and I know a couple of them with Mr. B as well. It's absolutely fantastic, the support that people give us. So it's all like a family.
Yeah, it's completely different from here. It's sort of like a clicky thing in Oz, but since I've been watching the show and the amount of people that I've met and talked to, and they've always got time for you. You know, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm on a call or something with someone, and it's just amazing how good the people are in the circle of vapors in the UK. I know there's divisions and that, but all the people that I talk to, another shout out is to Madam Vapor Bunny, that I always say hello to, and
Vapor Bunny's lovely.
RKH, the list is continuing, and you're always there for each other, and it is. You're right. It's a family thing. I feel honoured to be part of that, and honoured to be here tonight. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Well, it was something I spoke to Mr. B quite a number of weeks back about getting different people on who are not actually on the shows, and it was obviously Ali not being here this week. I thought it's just a perfect thing to get somebody, and now you've got a camera that's Grizzly Vapes tipped. It's tipped a fiver to say vagina. Lovely. Vagina.
I must still be ill to hearing shit.
He should have popped up on screen. I don't know, it's not popped up on screen. But yes, it's nice to get somebody a little bit different who's not either med some juice or med something, or is a reviewer or has a part in the vape community apart from being just a vapor, which is brilliant to get somebody on. You,
Yeah, well, we all got to have a hobby, haven't we?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you've started. Well, not just started. I think you've been at it for quite a while. Is making your own juices, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got no choice.
I was going to say,
The juice that they make here, a lot of it's absolute rubbish. It is. We get imported stuff, but that costs the earth. And like you keep saying, it's got no nick in it. So we have to add our nick, and getting the nick is a drama in itself. When you've got the juice with the nick in, of course, it's a changed flavour, isn't it?
I really don't understand why certain countries are taking such a hard stance on something that is proving to save lives.
Yeah,
I do not understand it at all.
It's when you make $40 billion in tax revenue off cigarettes each year, you've got a lot of people in your back pocket. And I think one thing that COVID has shown us here, how the government are manipulating and being manipulated by big pharma, big business, big tobacco. It's rife here, and it's just sticking out like a sore thumb now that we've all been locked down and had just a little bit of time to think about it.
Just obviously for the people who don't know that much about how it's working in Australia, just explain to them what you have to do to actually get your nicotine.
Well, you actually have to go to a doctor, convince him that there is no other way in hell that you can get off the smokes. When he actually does agree to that, he's got to write you a script to get a prescription to order in nicotine from overseas. And there's another way of doing it. It's getting on one of the websites which the government have propped up and paying $85 a year. And I don't know how, I haven't tried it, but and giving them proof so that you can actually get your prescription as well. So they're after their bit. Instead of regulating it like you've got in the UK, which is smart, I agree with everything. You know, your brick and mortar stores going in there, it's the same as going into a grog shop. You know, buying grog, you know, you show ID.
Yeah,
if you don't look over a certain age, why not do it like that? Like everyone keeps saying, it's saving lives. You know, I'm proof of it. I'm 3 and a bit years in now, and compared to, you know, I can run up steps and, you know.
It's just like Flat Cap says, do you need a prescription to buy cigarettes? No, so it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. It just goes back to the government, and, you know, and they're listening to WHO and
Lee, Gary.
Vic's told us, you know, they're not to be trusted. So if we're going to follow their example, then
did I see something about the FDA now actually saying that it is better for you than smoking? Did I see something about that come out?
Grim might have brought that up actually.
I haven't, to be honest, for the last 2 weeks, I've not really seen much going on. But it's just, for me personally, I know it's about money and all this and all that. So I keep seeing it pop up. It's all about money, but it's more than that. There is enough. It shows there's enough people in charge that don't give a shit whether you live or die. That's scary.
I think that's politics in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why does more people not just stand up and say, "Hang on a minute, this ain't fucking right"? I don't get it. I truly don't understand it.
Oh, there was a huge debate, and they asked us to put our testimonials in, and we did that, but it got nowhere. The government just did what they wanted.
That what was his name? Hunt. Is he still in Hunt?
Oh, do you want to call him something else?
Yeah, he rhymes with Hunt. Yeah.
I normally do, but I promised my daughter I wouldn't say too many swear words, and I know Bill's counting, so
she's lovely.
Count that.
I think one of the funniest videos I've ever seen was where Hunt turned up when all the fires were happening, and he turned up at this site where they're dealing with the forest fire, and pretty much every fireman to a man wanted to lynch him.
Yeah, I think
they're all shouting stuff at him.
Prime Minister.
Yeah, is that? So I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, but the Prime Minister did it. That's right.
Yeah. What's Hunt? Is he to do with the medical side of it?
Greg Hunt is the health minister. Yeah,
that's the health minister. Yeah, and he said he'll be dead by the time he lets vaping come in. What an absolute pillock.
Well, he's always had something against nicotine. Maybe his dad died of cancer or something like that, but that's only more reason to actually do what you need to do. Do what the UK's, follow the UK's way of thinking, and to extent New Zealand. Regulate it, let the people that need it have it, and then you get to tax it as well. So it's a win-win situation. You've still got your people that want to smoke, and all joy to them. I've got nothing against smokers. I was one, but I know how addictive it is. It's just good to see that the youth are sort of shying away from that, and whether they're legally vaping or going and buying one of these, I'd rather see them do that than take drugs or just
absolutely.
It was strange because I walked into Tesco's the other day and I said to Lou, look at that. They got nicotine patches and sprays, and you can buy them straight. They're not behind the counter or anything. You can just buy them straight there in Tesco's.
Same
16.
here. Same here.
And gun.
Yeah. Have you ever tried the nicotine spray?
No.
It's horrible. Jeez, it actually gave me hiccups every time I used it.
Jesus.
Genuine hiccups. It was horrible. It was like using pepper spray in your mouth. Then all of a sudden you'd start hiccuping. It's horrible.
I tried it once, but it didn't make me smell very good.
So
the flies away.
How many bricks and mortar stores are there around? Like in Doncaster, there must be a good 15, 20, I think. How many's?
We've got 3, and they're all owned by the same people. I'm not going to advertise them because the one near me, he's a fucking wanker, and I like. He's tried to rip me off that many times, talking to you lot and talking to people in chat and working out, my journey of vaping and slowly learning bits and pieces and going from the pods to everything else. And I go in there and he tells me the opposite, and I go, well, mate, you have no clue, do you? And he goes, of course I do. I own this chain of shops, and I think, well, I could do better than that, and I think I could get a lot more people off the stinkies if it was me, but yeah.
To be fair, there's a few around here that do that. There's one geezer who, no matter what you tell him, he will always push you to the biggest cloud trucking machine he can. No matter what. It's my first day. I want to start vaping. I don't know where to begin. Here, have this super duper RDA kit. You got to rebuild it. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Absolute tit.
Oh, this bloke's, you go in there and you want to buy a battery because your batteries have died or something, and he's throwing the most expensive one at you, even though he's 3 different types. That and the wrong coils, and you get back, you come back and you've got the wrong coils. And say, well, they don't fit this. You told me they do, and go, oh, of course they are. You're doing something wrong.
But you've opened them. Can't take them back down.
Refund. You've opened the packet, and then it's like, mate, one more time.
That's again. This is why you need vape shops. I know I've spoke with Bunny plenty of times, and I know she disagrees with it, but is where you can have that regulation on them. And I don't mean I mean they should have a license. I don't mean where they've got to. It could even be a free license, but at least the government's got to go there and make sure they're giving the right practice.
Well, it can't be a free license because then there's no worry about losing it.
Yeah, well, there is, because obviously if you don't go to the licensing what they're saying, they take that license away from you, whether it's free or whether you pay for it.
Then you just put a different name on the shop and get a new license.
But again, obviously the people are going to work that out.
He's been doing it in the alcohol industry for God knows how long.
Again, I still don't think even if you put a £2,000 thing on top of it, that's when you're going to start crippling shops.
Yeah.
But what they should do at the same time
is fee.
Just taking them out of petrol stations and Tesco's and stuff like that.
Oh God, yeah, that would be a big start. I think someone showed me a picture the other day. I can't remember who it was that sent me. And if you're in chat, please say so. But sent me a picture of a vape stand with disposable vapes next to the Kinder Eggs.
Oh wow!
Directly next to them, literally next door. It's like, what are you playing? And that was like an Asda or a Tesco or some shit like that. It's like, what are you playing at?
And Mummy, can I have one of those coloured musk sticks as well?
Mummy, it's mango. I like mango.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think to stop that sort of thing, it's like the beer shop round the corner from me. They're selling disposable vapes. And do you know when the TPD came in and you couldn't actually sell 30ml bottles with nicotine in it? They still had them on the shelf for months, maybe a year afterwards.
Didn't they allow you to get rid of your old stock or something?
No, that was all the way up until the actual cut-off date.
Oh, shit, right.
And they just carried on selling it. I know market stores that they've got stuff in there that must be way out of date.
Yeah. Well, there are a surprising amount of e-liquid bottles that do not have like a use by.
No.
You know, there could be something that's been on the shelf 3 years and you don't know it.
Yeah, well, especially here.
I don't think I've ever had a bottle of juice that hasn't got a use by date.
I can pick up 3 or 4 now that don't have them on.
We don't have to. We don't have to do that. They break that one. Happen at all. It's like to buy these things. You can get them in a tobacconist, but it's got no nicotine in it.
They normally, what they normally have is they have the batch number on like that, and then they have an expiry on them. And if they haven't got them, then they're not TPD regulated.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said there's a surprising amount that don't have them. There's not one on this. There's a batch number. There's not expiry on it.
Normally, you'll find that it's either been rubbed off or what company? Yeah. Which company is that?
Oh, this one's a Pud. I can't. There's no. Not that I can see anyway.
They normally might have them in, like in a dark writing on it, but normally they do. Yeah, all right, Shrek. I've got 2, but you sent me them. You sent me. But yeah, again, talking about vape shops. We all know Finn, who comes into the chat here. He works on the corner of the vape shop there. This is how good this lad is, right? The lady over the road, she's an elder lady, and she's got a T18 kit. I got her onto, I think it was a pod system. I think it was the Xros or something. Then she went and got a T18, and I wouldn't say she's senile, but she's obviously getting a little bit older and sort of like forgetful. So she kept trying to go over there to buy a brand new T18 kit instead of just buying the coils. So he kept talking her out of it, and then she wanted to have one, so he sold her one. And then he messaged me, because he knows I go over the road, and said to him, look, I can't sell her this. I'm ripping her off. I don't want to sell her this, but she keeps being adamant that she wants to buy one of these. I keep trying to tell her the coil, and I keep changing the coil for her. So anyway, I went over and I said to her, she went, oh, no, it's because I need them. So anyway, she went in a bag, and she had 15 of them in a bag.
What the hell?
And so she hadn't been able to get them from him. She's going elsewhere to go and buy them.
Bloody hell. Just to recap, I want to say that I've just found the expiry date.
Yeah.
I've just spotted it. Oh, shit, no, it is there.
Yeah, you'll find that they all have an expiry date. But that to me, that is somebody who's caring, because really, he could just carry on selling them kits and not say
like he would. Yeah,
and I know a lot of shops. A lot of shops that would do it.
Mm.
Especially in the early days. The early days, they were terrible at it.
Totally Wiki was bad for it in my area. The shop that's in my area, not all Totally Wiki, but the shop in my area was particularly bad for it. They would sell anything to anybody, obviously above age, but anything to anybody who they had no knowledge in the store of what they were selling in terms of what's good for people. But they would just tell it could be a brand new smoke. You get the biggest cloud tripping kit they can find, as long as it got them money.
Yeah, that's the horrible bit. And obviously, like countries such as yours, Australia, and I know Toma's in there. They've got. Do you have a massive tax on yours as well? Then?
No, there's no tax. They just would prefer that we don't have it and make it nearly impossible to get any nicotine. You can still buy the juice, no nicotine. That's got to be sourced from outside the country. So send me 100 litres and I'm sure I can get rid of it.
Yeah. Or make your own decent juice.
Oh, well, I can make the juice. It's just add in the nic. Like, we get the nicotine from New Zealand in little bottles. So,
it's like I think Toma was saying, I think it was, what was it, per mil? Something like $7 per mil.
Yeah, $7. I think my brain's all over the place, but I'm thinking he said $7 per mil.
That is
incredible.
That is when you know that the government are jumping on it.
Well, I don't blame them for that. I'd rather, although it is extortionate in these countries like America and stuff, where they're just banning shit left, right, and centre. I'd rather them just put a tax on it instead.
What, £5 per mil?
No, I didn't say that it's not extortion. It is extortion, but if they're gonna try and recoup some money that they're losing from the cigarette industry, then at least maybe tax nicotine and stuff. Not at a rate of £5 per mil. No.
Obviously, we've got coming up in a couple of days that our heating and electric and all that, it's going to go up by about £700 a year here in the UK. But he came out and he's obviously not helped the poorer families. Anybody earning over probably £34,000, I think they were saying, is going to be miles better off than what we are. But they haven't put any more duty on cigarettes.
No, why would they?
Well, actually, no. I saw something. So obviously, I've been watching a lot of Prime Minister's questions while I've been ill, because it's generally the best thing for a good bit of laugh. But there was one geezer talking about putting, because they're on about getting the country smoke-free by 2030. That's their big slogan at the moment. So maybe they are just going to tax the shit out of cigarettes.
Well, I think they're going to do a little bit like what Russia were doing. They're saying that if you're born over a certain age, you cannot legally buy cigarettes. That's all.
Then you just get someone born in the right year, don't you?
Well, it's like anything, isn't it? You can get somebody to go and buy them for you. But what I'm saying is they're banning anybody from a certain year, say 2022. Then anybody who's born in that year, they can't have cigarettes for the rest. They can't go and buy them.
I'm really glad Trev said that, because I'm sat here thinking I'm hallucinating. So I'm really glad Trev said that, but I saw that as well. So yeah, so there was someone standing up in Parliament going on about getting rid of smoking by 2030. So
yeah, 2030.
So maybe they are going to tax the shit out of it.
I don't think it's the fact that they're going to tax it. I think what they're going to be doing is they're going to be, like I said, they're going to have a cut off.
I don't know. I don't think that's the right way of doing it, though.
Why?
Having a cut-off, it's so easy to get around it.
Well, it's so easy to get around everything.
Whereas taxing, you can't get around taxing, can you?
Well, of course they do. They buy snide cigarettes like they've been doing for years.
Well, that's... Yeah, if you're going to go down... Yeah, if you're going to go down the illegal route, fine, there's easy way to get around everything.
Well, you're saying to go down the illegal route by saying that person then would buy them when they shouldn't have bought them.
Yeah.
You're not creating new smokers.
No.
And and you've got to think about the actual law, the how much from when we were kids, and even down to when Stu were kids, of the people don't smoke. There's loads of people who don't smoke now.
I'm so not well enough to debate.
That I know of.
Oh Jesus!
There's not a lot of people. I don't think there's that many now over the age of 40 who smoke to what there were years and years ago.
I had an interesting message off a cousin of mine who caught his 14-year-old son vaping. And he wanted my advice. So I told him, well, he shouldn't be vaping. Well, I want to go buy him something that's not disposable. Well, I can't answer your question because he shouldn't be vaping. But it seems to me that they are rather going to vaping than smoking. Is that a good thing? I don't know.
We've had this debate loads of times. Kids are always going to try what they shouldn't try. So I've also known, I think there was a thing on the news about a lad, they put him on patches and stuff like that. It didn't work. Now, he got caught, say behind the back of the bike sheds, smoking. They didn't suspend him. But what he did was he got himself a vape pen and he got caught vaping. They suspended him for vaping.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, back in my day, we were all around the back of the bike shed or whatever smoking. Smoking was a thing, but now it's vaping. I'm caught in two minds on this. Half me thinks, well, no, they shouldn't be vaping because it's the uncle side in me. But the other half me thinking, well, thank fuck it's not smoking, because I wish I never started smoking.
But I think again, I don't know about you, Stu, but the what you've got is it's like the medical side of it as well. The lungs aren't developed properly, and I know what you're saying, the smoking, but I would maybe at that age I'd rather him try other methods of getting off it before vaping.
Yeah, well, kids are kids, and they're going to experiment, and they're going to do things, and whether there's a will, there's a way, or an older brother, or an uncle, or a bloody father's, mother's, dog's breakfast cereal, they're going to get something from somewhere. They're going to experiment. So, you know, I'm sort of with Mr. B. Great that they're vaping, they're not smoking, but I think that they're going to try everything. They're going to try the grog. They're going to try.
It's such a weird, it's such a grey area, though, isn't it? It's a proper grey area. You can't turn around and say it's good that they're vaping because there's a party that goes, well, no, they shouldn't be doing anything. Like you said, the medical aspect where the lungs aren't properly developed and all that shit. But then on the other side, you're actually quite glad that he's vaping and not smoking. It's a weird one. It's a proper weird one.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. That is, you know, that there's health, but there's also that inquisitiveness that is a child. There you go, Cicero, that I used a big word tonight. So I saved that one up.
Everybody else has a swear jar. You've got a big word jar.
I'll tell you what, though, Craig done off when he sets off, Jesus. We've had some lovely Patreon meets where that's it when he's off on when he's had a beer.
Cesaro's awesome. I call him the Viscount of vocabulary. So he always comes in with the big words, and I'm like, you're not tripping me up this week. Not a chance. Indubitably, my dear Watson.
Yeah, you're totally right. Kids are always going to, where are the parents? The thing is out of all the people that are there, you're going to get a set of good parents who are stopping and checking the children. You'll always get a set of parents who are a little bit maybe lackadaisical and don't give a shit. They're the ones who are getting pens bought them and vapes and...
I had a lot of time to think. A few weeks ago when we had this, about 6-7 weeks ago, whatever, when we had this debate, I turned around to Harley and said it comes down to good parenting. And there was a big sort of to-do with me and Harley over, as there always is, because he's not strangling squirrels when he's having to do it me. But it's just, it was one of those where I've had time to think about it. And I thought about my past. And when I was smoking, hell, I was that sneaky about it that my dad genuinely thought my mum was smoking behind his back. And they were having massive arguments when my dad's going, look, if you want to smoke, just fucking smoke. Just don't lie to me. And I'm sat there going, ha, 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 bitch. And I was that sneaky about it. But then there was a time when my dad, where I finally got caught, it was inevitable. My dad turned around to me and said, look, I'd rather you smoke in front of me than behind my back. I'd rather, if you're going to smoke, I'm not going to stop you, but I don't want you to be deceitful about it because deceit is wrong. And I learned a big thing from that day, but it's that sort of mentality. I class my parents as fantastic parents, and growing up with the almost motto is we might have nothing, but we always have love. Yeah. So I call them fantastic parents, but they still allowed me to smoke at 14. Does that make them bad parents? It doesn't.
See, my sister, she's 13 years older than me. She's 55. Then you've got Mark, who's 51. I think he's 51 now. So Sally never smoked ever. She's the oldest. Now, both my mum and dad smoked heavily all of our lives, up until obviously my mum passed away. My dad totally stopped and still vapes to this day. But Mark was smoking young. Now, I didn't start smoking until I was 19, and I started off on cigars. And that was because I went out and had a beer. I used to like a whiskey and a cigar, and then I started smoking.
Yeah.
But Mark was the major. He did, like he always says, he'd smoke camel shit in a bus ticket. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't smoke all my life. I started smoking when I was about 32, and that I think I put that down to the young lady that I was with at the time doing my heading. So. You know, that was a start for me. So I guess I didn't smoke for as long as a lot of people out there. But up to a couple of years ago, it was just coughing fits, and I got a really bad pain in the arm. I don't know if I had a mini stroke or whatever, but that day I think I had 3 cigarettes left. I went to work. I took a vape that my friends had been trying to get me started on the 2 years previous, and finished the packet. picked up the vape, and I've never put it down. And now I like shiny things and everything about it, and it's. But the people that I've met through it, it's been amazing. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah. It's. I think one of the biggest bits where people fall down and go back to cigarettes is stress.
Yeah,
I think that's got the biggest one. I think the first thing you did when you had all that trouble, you went and had a cigarette, didn't you?
Oh, me, a Big Mac.
Mike.
Yo, Mike, how you doing, buddy? I think my problem was I didn't go to the cigarette. I went to the Big Mac. But no, it's, again, stress is it. Another thing is social as well. If all your friends are smoking around you, the chances are you're going to have a cigarette with them.
Well, same with me in the construction industry. It's like you look around, what are we going to do next? And you light one up and you're walking around and you're talking and you're thinking, when the phone rings, it's like, I've got a break now, light up. It's part and parcel.
It was same in the car industry.
A lot of that was to do with the reason why I dual use for a long, long time was obviously the industry with the singing and then DJing. I'd probably go all week and not have a cigarette, and then all of a sudden, to get a break for me, you've got to go out because you're behind that box. You've got to go out. Where now I don't even go out, I just go to the toilet and stand back in my box. But I used to go out the back, and then everybody else would be smoking. They'd be like, "Yeah, go on then, I'll have one." Or you'd buy yourself 10 while you were there, and then you'd vape while you were in your box, and then you'd go and have another one after you'd had a couple of beers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But since I had my mini stroke, and since obviously I became a reviewer and I were on the show with Mark and Adam, that was it. Just stopped. Even the points where devices have failed on me, I've sat there and gone cold turkey.
The surprising the weekend, and I was in the boat for about 6 hours, and I didn't even think about it. The seas were a little bit rough, so I was more worried about going over the edge than picking up a vape. So it just proves to you when you don't have one, it's a lot easier than being on the vapes than actually smoking, because you're constantly craving it. Heavy.
Over the last probably couple of years, I've upped my nicotine level. See, I'd gone all the way down to, because obviously I was more direct to lung, so I was down to like 3 milligram, and I was quite happy at that. But I sort of sometimes at the stress bits, I found myself proper chain vaping. So I've found myself over the last couple of years gone more mouth to lung and more like 20 milligram nic salts, which is quite nice. And I don't take big devices upstairs to bed with me. I take little pod systems. So they're just, you're not blowing massive load of clouds or anything like that. But you're getting that nick hit that you want. But I do find myself, like waking up in the middle of the night, go for a wee, and then I'll have a bit of a vape.
I've never done that, mate. Having this COVID, there were 3 or 4 days I didn't even touch vape. But on the back end of it, I have a cherry cool one, and I was struggling breathing, and the cherry cool vape really helped me out big time.
Oh, the menthol, and all the WS.
I think I were on the Ursa Mini, and that really, and again when I had the COVID, you could only have a little bit because, like you said, you couldn't breathe. But you still need that nick. You still need that nick.
But the cooling effect. Oh, pardon me. The cooling effect and the cool cherry vape had really helped my throat. Really helped my breathing. Open up the sinuses, sort of thing. And it's that. I think that really helped me from the vaping. Certainly helped me through COVID. Apart from the first 3 or 4 days where I didn't touch vape at all.
Yeah, I will like that. You can't do it, can you?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have not, sorry to interrupt everybody, I have not mentioned our wonderful Rochford project. Jay, I know, how bad am I? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, in the corner there, you can get yourself 15% off while the show, I think it goes all the way up to 12 o'clock tonight. We've got 2 bottles to give away to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you've not tried any of this, you need to get yourself over there, and if you don't win this, go and buy some. The bloke's amazing. He's a great alchemist. Look at that big word. It's got the zeros in. So, ladies and gentlemen, the key word to put in is Rochford. Like that.
R-O-C-H Ford.
I've done it loads of times before and we haven't got him properly and we've had to do a special one. But yes, please go over there and support him. He's an absolute fantastic bloke and amazing for supporting us. But yeah, it's funny over the years of how things have changed with people, the habits of smoking. You've got to think, when I went into working men's clubs at the age of 16, singing, it was completely, the walls were dripping with yellow shit. And
I've been in nightclubs where you couldn't see for smoke.
Yeah.
Just literally you walking through like, wait, I don't need cigarettes, I can just breathe in.
I remember having a game of pool and you had an ashtray close to the table. You were smoking and you were playing pool.
Yeah.
But nowadays, in Australia, you can't smoke indoors at all. Anyway,
No, same here.
Well,
same here.
We was, I was obviously, we're a big Red Dwarf fan, so whenever I played pool, I used to put it in the side of my ear, just like Lister used to do it.
Jesus.
You like the taste of earwax then?
Well, no, because I've got clean ears, you dirty bugger. Wash your ears.
I'll never forget when they stopped the whole smoking inside jobby. It was the summer that year, and there was this little pub with a load of tables outside, and there must have been 10 smokers outside, all enjoying the sunshine, smoking away. And because all the non-smokers wanted to sit outside, they were complaining like shit about all the smokers that were out there. And they were like, well, you wanted this. We'd have been in there smoking. But no, we're out here. You got what you wanted. Enjoy.
I'll tell you what I did think that could have happened with that. He killed the working men sort of side of it, and I did feel sorry for a lot of the older people. But obviously, with it was Roy Castle, wasn't it, when he was saying about it being in the clubs and all that. I think if they had a room without a bar, it was just a room, and if they wanted to go and sit in it, it's their choice to go and do that. And I think instead of just barring it completely out of the places, they could have done it. Bar it in restaurants, bar it in the main bar and everything like that. But just if they had one room where they all wanted
little smoker's cabin.
Yeah.
Look like a Jamaican's Rastafarian's car.
Yeah, but just a room. And if they wanted to go and do it, I don't want anybody to smoke. The whole point of us being reviewers and what we do is to stop them from smoking and get onto vaping to then eventually quit. A lot of us are now hobbyists of it, but eventually the whole thing of it is for them to quit completely. And anybody who's ever done that, I've always given them a pat on the back because I think that's the whole end game of it. If you do get into it like a hobbyist like we are, then that's down to you. But again, I think you should maybe give them the choice.
Pamela, just to answer your question, yes, it did help me. Whether it helps you is down to your taste buds. But it certainly helped me, 100%. It was better than a locket.
Thank you very much, Toma. 83 people in chat and only 46 thumbs up. Come on, it helps with the algorithms and it gets the show out there. So please, people, stick them thumbs up.
Stick them up.
There is only 27 eligible users.
I'll be an eligible user if you want.
Well, we know you're a user.
Hey, only on Sundays.
Well, I'll tell you what, lads, it's gone pretty quick this, you know. We're sat here 5 minutes to go. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, whatever your taste this evening, you have got shows after us. You've got the wonderful Benny Vapes if you're into your mixing, and you've also got the Ohm show as well. Over on Richard Vick's channel. Make sure you go and check them out. And don't forget to go and check my brother out tomorrow as well. It's their 200th show.
Ooh.
Yes, the home service. So please go and check my big brother out. And I'm sure there'll be fun and frolics. And don't forget to check the UK Vape show out as well. Shall we roll this wonderful giveaway of the Rochford project? I think we should. Last chance, people. Wait, we have to wait like 15 seconds, don't you? Because there's like a cut-off period.
Delay, yeah.
And it is Toma, all the way in Israel. That's going to be fun.
You'll get it for Christmas, don't worry.
But will he get charged the extra rate on the juice coming through customs?
Nah, you should be fine.
Excellent.
With Toma. We'll get it sent out to you, buddy. Don't you worry about it. But listen to me. We're not having 17 telephone calls every day. It's no to do with me. It's down to Jay. That yeah, no, I'll get it out to you, brother. I'll get it out to you, my mate.
What you don't realise is Hayes has just passed a message to Louise. Switch my phone number. No,
no, he's lovely, Tom. I think he's absolutely brilliant, mate.
Lock caller.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the point of the evening. We've done no tech and no thing because Harley's not here to keep everything ticking and rumbling. We've just had a good old chat, haven't we?
sometimes it's like that, and that's how it should be. Go with the flow, man.
Do you know what, Mr. B? You're an absolute star, buddy. We have missed Harley, haven't we?
We have, yeah, but you know, he's in squirrel prison for a week.
Yeah, with loads of radishes stuck up his bum.
I thought it were pineapples, but we'll go with radishes.
Yeah.
Is that what you do in the UK? Is that to keep the cold out?
Only in Harley's case. Only in Harley's case.
It's been quite warm over the last couple of days, hasn't it? Well, last week it was lovely.
I wouldn't know. I'm freezing all last week.
Tomer's piffed it over. Tomer, if you want it, mate, I'll get it sent over to you. Don't worry about it. But if you two sort it out and just let me know, that's really nice, Bill. We'll sort it. So, big love to you all. Mr. B. And Harley, we will see you next week. Big love to Mr. B. Say goodbyes, brother.
Bye. Bye from Covidville. Thank you all for being here. I'm off to my bed. I'm dead. Stuart, seriously, thank you for coming on, man. It's been wonderful having you, mate. It's been absolute. I'm going to have a good old rock onto your music tonight when I go to bed.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully everyone enjoys something that we've put together there, but there's something for everyone, like I said before. And
I guarantee there is.
It's been an honour to be invited on your wonderful show and to actually talk to all of the people that I've been in chat with for the last couple of years. You're all fantastic. Love the group, love the people. Definitely a family. And yeah, like I said, I'm honoured, and everyone look after themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, the real Crocodile Dundee, Stuart Valentine. It's been a pleasure, buddy. He's been a mate of mine for quite a number of years. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely man. And it's been great to have him on. And we're going to do this again, aren't we, Mr. B? We're going to get a few more people like you lot in chat. If you do fancy coming on the show, the only thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a camera and it works properly and you've got sound, then you're more than welcome to come on the show. It's quite nice to just get the normal vapor and get their sort of perspective.
Absolutely.
Their perspective, Mr. B, isn't it? Of what the community is, what they think about stuff. So if you want to come on the show, drop me an email or get in touch with Mr. B or Harley, and we will sort that out for you. Big love to everybody in chat. Thank you so much for everybody who's turned out. I know we've had 2 weeks off. Thank you for all your support. It means the world for us. Make sure, also to the wonderful Spanners as well for looking after us. Make sure you get over to the Rochford Project. The code will last all the way up until 12 o'clock. And don't forget, coughing, don't forget to either me, Vic, Flat Cap or whatever, nominations for the Vapor Round Awards. It's the last 15. So please, UK, go and give him a bit of... Thank you very much. Thank you. He's wearing the merch. Big love to you all. We will see you all next week. And what do you say goodbye in Australia?
Uru.
What he just said. I sound like that when I'm pissed anyway. Guru-uru. Good night, people. Love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Yay. Do you know what? What's your thoughts on Boris Johnson, Stuart?
He's got wild hair. Well,
he was on about his pubes.
UK's like that. UK's like that. Now that was a